Welcome to another interaction with one of Abraham Piper's TikTok videos.
Their God is so insecure, he needs everyone to love him.
It used to be back in the days of the Reformation, we'd write big fat books and volumes, and days before that they were scrolls, and now we're doing stuff on TikTok. Good grief.
I don't know why someone would hate God so much. Hell is hot. Let's just take a quick moment and look at the reasoning or the claim behind that comment.
I want you to notice here that he interacts with the claim that hell is hot and doesn't interact at all with why would that man hate God so much. That's the thing that really needs to be interacted with.
Essentially, why would you hate God? He'll send you to hell. Or you should love God, otherwise he'll torture you.
Yeah, as though hell is God applying external tortures for no particular reason to people who are essentially good, instead of understanding hell as the culmination point, as the final destination point where we as sinners, apart from Christ, become what we've been intent on becoming. The wrath of God is visited from heaven against unrighteousness, all the unrighteousness of men, it says in Romans 1, and it says this repeatedly. The wrath of God is God gave them up. God gave them up. So hell is not God saying, hold on for a minute, let me go to my to the armory for my torture chamber and come up with some excruciating tortures from you for you that I will apply to you externally, and let me arrange for a really miserable existence for you in hell. No, hell is where God says to someone like Abraham Piper, have it your way. Keep going that way, and you're going to descend into the outer darkness. And if someone will not have God, if someone will not be in communion with God, then they bring their own hell with them.
Now, you're absolutely right if you're thinking, why the f*** are you feeding a troll? But I wanted to respond because this, even though he's saying it like a troll, which is actually helpful because that means he's being clear, he's saying what millions of evangelicals actually believe.
Well, we actually believe that there is such a thing as damnation. We actually believe there is such a thing as hell. We actually believe that there is such a thing as eternal misery, but we do not believe, we don't get our theology of hell from Far Side cartoons where you have subterranean caverns and demons with pitchforks. That's not what that's not what we believe, but he wants to talk as though we do.
When you drive past some vanilla church in your neighborhood, whether it's Southern Baptist or E-Free,
thus displaying his extensive knowledge of the denominations of North America, ranges all the way from Southern Baptist to E-Free.
And they've got some cutesy sign that says that prayer is like emailing God or some shit. This is what they actually believe and are not saying it as straightforward as this troll. Doesn't matter that they have food drives in the winter or put out bouncy houses for local kids in the summertime.
Doesn't matter what good things Christians do. I'm going to make fun of them regardless.
Their God is so insecure, he needs everyone to love him. And
God is so secure that he is able to tell us that unless we love him, we are going to be eternally miserable. All right, so God is not, he did not create us because he was lonesome. He did not create the world because he was filling up any need in himself. But when he created the world and when he made creatures like us, of necessity, since he is a necessary being and we are contingent beings, we have to be in fellowship with the ground of our existence. We have to be in fellowship with the Father who created us. Otherwise, if we're not in fellowship with the ultimate one, we are going to be, of necessity, miserable. And that eternal misery is precisely what damnation is. So it's not a matter of God being insecure. It's God being secure enough to tell us that unless we have him, we have nothing.
Top idea to make that happen is the threat of torture.
The threat, the threat or the explanation of what that torture consists of. In Romans 1, how's the wrath of God described? Therefore, God gave them up. Therefore, God gave them up. God says to man, when his wrath is revealed from heaven against our unrighteousness, he says to us, have it your way.
Folks, your God needs a therapist.
Your God needs a therapist. So there's a very interesting thing going on here. Let's say we arranged an appointment for our God to see a therapist. What organization does this therapist belong to? Where did he get his training? if you're going to arraign God and bring him into court, who's the judge in that court? All right, what Abraham is doing here is he is acting the part of a dogmatic agnostic. He is saying basically, I have replaced my belief in God with nothing, and I am just going to do bits and patches here and there, and I'm going to pronounce on life with an implied standard. I want to know where he gets this standard. If there is no God, then why does our imaginary God need a therapist? According to what the canons of what psychological school of thought will this therapist apply his treatment? Makes no sense.